Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to discuss about JSX errors with some solutions. I will discuss the wrapper component and also how we can add the fragment React library. So guys, let's get started. This is a very interesting video. And now you can see I'm on the app.js component, and let me show you in the previous videos I have created this demo app. So now if you can see, if I remove this divs here, you all know we will get the error because I explained in my previous videos that we need to add those child elements in some wrapper, right? So I am adding this wrapper like this way. So now this issue get resolved. But if I go in the gold list, I can see here in the gold list, I have again this child item in some wrapper, which is fine. But guys, what happened if I press F12? You can see here after this root element we have a diff, and then if in the goals we have the diff. So let's assume for a while if we have a big application, we can have a multiple components and we can have multiple divs on the same page, and if we need to apply the css on the nested childs, we can probably sometimes get some issues in applying the css which will not be probably applied correctly. So to resolve this, we do not need the extra divs. We have some solutions. I can create a wrapper in our application. So what can I do? I can in components, I can create a new folder, helper, and here I can write wrapper.js. And what I need to do, const wrapper, and so props, and here I'm going to return props.children. So you all know in a previous video we have discussed about is what is props.children. It is basically wherever I'm going to use this component at the top of any component, it is going to get all the elements of the child and pass it in as a props.children, right? So let's assume I'm going to use the wrapper here. Let me just copy paste. So now what will happen? It will remove the dependency of divs. So let me just check it now. Components, helper, and wrapper, right? So So it's working fine, but if I go on the output and it works fine, but if I press F12, so now you can see here there is no div extra div element, right? Which this actually resolves our issue, which is good. But for that we need to write extra, and we can call this wrapper throughout our application, which is okay. Now if I go here and I pass the wrapper here, then and I need to import this wrapper, helper, and wrapper, right? So if I go here now, if I see my stylings, in the goals, we can see here now I directly get the UL unordered, which looks fine. That's good. But we have some other way of writing this wrappers. We can, if we do not need to write a separate component, we can simply write in this way, right? And on here, if I go and see, I can simply do in this way also. So if I go and if I go and now it looks much better. Uh, there's no development, but sometimes this approach is not really recommended by React, and it doesn't looks good. So React actually allow us to write all these things in a way. There is a React library which is fragments, a common pattern in React for a component to return multiple elements, right? In this way, if we pass the fragments in our return div, instead of div or other elements, it is going to not show any div elements on the HTML, which is very good approach. Fragments let you group in a list of children without adding extra nodes. This thing is very important to the DOM. Without adding extra nodes to the DOM, it's going to show all the children elements. So how this works, you need to pass react.fragment, or you can simply write in your code, like you can pass here fragment, and all you need to do is you can pass fragment here and fragment here, which is fine. And if you go on the top, if I need to use here, I don't use. I'm only using this fragment. So now you can see here, if I refresh my page and check the HTML, it's look good. It's looking the same, the previous results. And this is a very good approach and recommended by the React also, that you can use the fragments, and you can you do not need to write extra code to create separate components, or you do not need to pass empty tags. This is a good written approach, so you can follow this. So thank you very much, guys. This is a way to resolve this JSX issues.